welcome to another episode of Edible Eric Eats. Today's episode, I'm going to show you guys how to make risotto. I'm going to show you guys how they would par cook it in a restaurant and then how they would finish it, so you can see the whole process. Now, if you wanted to do it all at once, you just continue on past where I show you to par cook it too. So these ingredients you see right here are for the par cooking process of it. We're going to need some other ones, some supplemental ingredients when we go to finish it. But first, we're going to put a little bit of oil in our pan. We got a little oil in our pan. And we're going to add some onions. We're going to sweat those off for a couple minutes. Blend down our onions for a couple minutes. We always want to start those first because they're going to take a little bit longer than the shallots and the garlics. So now we're going to add a little bit of shallots and a little bit of garlic to the pan. We're building our base of aromatics, and we'll let these cook for another minute or so. The reason we use arborio rice when making risottos is it tends to have a higher starch content and absorb a little less water, making for a creamier risotto. Now we're going to add our rice grains. And you can see, if you look at arborio, it has its own kind of like unique look to it. So now we have our arborio rice in here. We're going to let this toast for a few minutes before we go on to the next step.
Go.
We've let our rice toast a little bit. At this step, it's very important you pay attention to it so you don't burn your garlic and onions that are in there. Now, we're going to add a little bit of our veg stock. We mix it around and we're going to let this cook until that liquid is cooked out. We're going to add a little bit more until we get that rice like 3/4 cooked to a nice al dente, so it has a nice toothsome bite to it. And then we're going to lay it on the sheet tray and let it cool off. We've added a little bit more stock to our risotto. Not quite done. You're going to add in intervals. At this point, you're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to this as well to get the rice seasoned.
Okay.
So it's cooked. We've been cooking our risotto. The stock is almost cooked out of it. You can see we're going to check it to make sure it's done. If not, we're going to add some more stock to it. That's not quite done. The risotto still has quite a bit of crunch left to it. So we're going to add a little bit more stock and let it cook a little bit longer. You're going to continue this process until the rice is about 3/4 cooked and has a little bit of bite to it, but not too much. If it's turning gritty, it's not done. It's not ready. So continually add enough stock and cook it down to where the rice starts to look like this. You can see it's starting to look some kind of creaminess. So you're also going to test it for doneness. When it's tender, it's good to go. Now we're going to take this, lay it flat on a sheet tray, spread it out. You want to get it as thin as possible, and it will cool down as quickly as possible. This is where you would cook it and how you would handle it if you're cooking it ahead of time, if you're par cooking it, if you're working a station in a restaurant. So we're gonna let this cool down. Once that's cooled down, I'll show you how to finish the risotto. So now I'm gonna show you how to finish the risotto. Start off with a pan. I'm gonna add just a little bit more shallots because I like them in there. And we're gonna make a tomato scallion risotto. We're gonna add some tomatoes, a bunch of scallions. This is just a simple risotto. You can put anything you want in there. So we're gonna take our cooled down rice and add it in there. You're gonna add in however much the portion is. To a risotto, we're gonna add a little bit more stock. We're gonna add a little white wine, Parmesan cheese, and a little butter. Because we need to finish cooking it now. But we want it to make it creamy. Now we're gonna cook this down so it melts, gets nice and creamy. You can see how it thickens up, starts to get that little bit of that creamy look, that creamy viscosity. When you're making a risotto, it shouldn't be a puddle. It shouldn't just run all over the plate, but it also shouldn't be such a tight ball or tight. It shouldn't be such a tight cooked amount. Damn it. Now we're going to hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper. Always remember, add a little bit. Start with a little bit. You can always add more, but you can't take away. So we're going to taste it. I think that needs a little bit more cheese. That tastes done. Got a good level of seasoning in it. You taste the tomato, you taste the scallion. So now all we're gonna do is plate. And you can see how it doesn't run everywhere. It doesn't just instantly spread out. That's what you want it to do. Now we're gonna garnish it with just a little bit more Parmesan cheese and a little bit more green scallions. There you have it, a tomato scallion risotto. This technique is something you should learn, not focus on the recipe. Once you learn the technique, you can make anything you want. You wanna make a duck risotto, you go ahead and you do that. You wanna make a shrimp risotto, make a shrimp risotto. You go ahead and you do that. You wanna make a black and Cajun risotto, you go ahead and you do that. Once you learn how to cook that rice properly, you go ahead and you do that. The possibilities are endless. So enjoy, guys, and keep on eating. Looking to up your cooking skills? Click subscribe for more delicious content where I break down techniques, dish out succulent tips to help you not just keep on eating, but encourage you to grow on.